Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Adam.
And together we're the...
And this is the one where we talk about friends.
You interrupted me. I was just about to say, we're the Maladjusted Misfits.
I'll fix it in post.
I don't think you can. All right, we're on episode 8.
8.
The one where Nana dies twice.
Twice.
She dies 2 times.
2 times she died. Dead 2 times.
How else can we say it?
Twice.
Muerto diez.
Los muertos.
All right, our episode director is James Burrows.
Oh, I never heard of him before.
I know, let me tell you something about him.
Okay.
In the 1970s, he directed episodes of The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Okay.
The Bob Newhart Show. Rhoda.
Okay.
Laverne and Shirley. And Taxi.
Taxi.
Yeah.
I like Taxi.
It is funny.
I need to see if Taxi's available anywhere. Do you remember the Christopher Lloyd joke in Taxi? When he's taking his driver's test.
Uh-huh.
The rest of the people are off to the side.
Right.
And he's like, hey, what does a yellow light mean? And they're like, slow down. And he's like, okay. What does a yellow light mean?
That guy cracks me up.
I wonder if Burroughs did that episode. That would be funny.
Oh, that would be funny. Our episode writers are also our creators, Marta Kaufman and David Crane.
Aw.
So Marta Kaufman also wrote episodes for a TV show called Related. And it's about 4 Italian sisters.
Ooh, Trebbiani's?
Maybe. You never know.
Maybe it was
Because
just
I haven't seen it.
some of the sisters?
Right. Half of them. And then David Crane is also the creator-writer for the spin-off of the TV show Joey.
Bastard!
That follows Friends. Which I recall watching, but I don't remember anything about it.
No, I remember we watched. I don't think we watched that many.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
We
think we
didn't
watched a
finish it?
handful of them. And
Okay.
I don't know. There's probably completists out there. Like, you're not going to do Joey after we finish Friends?
No. All right. The original air date was?
November 10th, 1994.
All right.
We're still in the 94s.
94s. Tell us the IMDb plot.
Okay. Monica and Russ mourn the loss of their grandmother. Chandler is shocked to find out that people think he's gay.
Controversial topic we'll get into.
Yes.
Yes. But let me hit you with some trivia.
Trivia.
All right.
Fire away.
Another name for the coffee shop that was besides Central Perk was Java Joe's.
Oh, which they
were going to call
Nana's picture was.
That's Nana's.
I don't know.
picture.
I think I like Central Perk better.
I do too. I think it's cute. And then Nana's 2 deaths could be explained by something called the Lazarus syndrome.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's extremely rare, but a well-documented medical literature that there are a variety of reasons a human could medically die, but then spontaneously return to life.
Oh, medically. So
Medically.
Jesus didn't just
No.
bring her back to scare Ross. Get him, Nana.
They're Jewish. They don't believe in Jesus.
I don't make rules
It's
or
okay.
follow them.
While some patients recover, it's also very common, like in the case for Nana, for the patients to experience a second and final death within hours, days, and sometimes even weeks. Wouldn't that suck if you thought someone died and then they came back and then a week later they died again? Oh.
I like just the little shock that we get in this one. That
Yeah.
I'd like to do that when I'd like to wake back up and be like, whoa, that was weird. And then you'd be like, Adam, oh,
No, I'm already going to be dead. So.
oh. She's got it all planned out.
Yes. The laugh track that is heard after Ross announces Nana's death a second time, even though it was supposed to be a serious moment, there's speculation that it may or may not have been intentional. The laughter, I know it's filmed in front of a live studio audience, but they were like, they thought it might have been inappropriate.
Right. So the audience either laughed inappropriately, like there's a couple Adams in the audience, or the guy on the console just kind of leaned over and hit the laugh track button when they were editing the
Possibly. You don't know. All right. Nana's name is not revealed in this episode, but is revealed later in the trivia game for the apartment. Do you remember what her name is?
Let me take a shot.
Okay.
Althea.
You're going with Althea?
I'm shooting with Althea.
Good shooting. This isn't trivia, but really a question. Like, is this the Nana whose apartment Monica's staying in? Like, they say it's their grandmother's apartment.
Right.
But they never mention it.
I'm going to go on record as yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I know for a fact that it is this Nana.
All right. No, put that to bed. And then a long-standing and oft-repeated urban legend is that Chandler was originally supposed to be gay in Friends until Matthew Perry was cast in the role, and it didn't fit his persona.
Right, because he's too butch.
Right. The sweater vest.
Put him in a sweater vest.
That James Burrows. And then the only other time they played a laugh track at the funeral, because they are outside at this, is the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Oh, so the Dick Van Dyke Show played a laugh track
at someone's funeral. And then they were like, that's inappropriate.
And people complained and wrote in, and they're like, you can never do that again.
Until 1994.
Right.
All right, so tell me about your episode reactions.
Okay, so my episode, I'm gonna go say this is probably not one of my favorites. It's a little problematic.
Yeah.
Chandler's funny. I mean, Matthew Perry is a funny guy.
Yep.
You know, he always makes everything funny. The storyline, the Chandler storyline, is problematic.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my finger on why it was bothering me.
Okay.
But Lowell at the very end kind of helps me sort it all out. So
Okay.
we'll talk about it then. But the other thing that I have with this episode is it feels like they smash a lot into it.
Right.
I mean, Nana dying, and then they're planning her funeral, and then they're at her funeral,
Right.
and then they're after,
Right.
I feel like...
And in the meantime, Chandler goes to work.
Right. As you do.
Right.
But it feels rushed.
Yeah.
And I can understand they didn't want to do like a two-parter this early,
Right.
but they should have made a choice as
Just
to...
a lot happens in this
Yeah.
episode. All right. I thought it was funny. Again, I agree with you. It's not my favorite episode. I do get cringy about all the gay talk in a non-positive way, and the fact that he continues to harp on it throughout the episode.
Right. The main problem is that he's so concerned about it.
Yeah.
And he won't let it go.
Right.
That's the biggest problem.
Right. And I think the Nana storyline is funny, and Ross is extremely funny. Hi.
Oh, yes.
But I don't think that much of Joey in this episode. I don't think he adds anything, and I don't like the stereotypical sports guy at the funeral.
Right. And I feel like this is like a cliche.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a boring cliche, and it's American guy.
Right.
Again, they're just grasping to give the characters something to do.
Right.
And I don't think it's the best fit for Joey.
Damn, James. Oh, no, that's Marta. All right. So, favorite line. Mine is kind of a couplet. So, I like when they run out of the room after Nana wakes up and Ross says to the aunt, she may have died.
She may have died.
And Jack goes, we're looking into it. I just think that's so funny.
We're looking into it.
I don't know how to tell you, but we're just looking into it.
So your line comes right after, like, when my line is.
Okay.
Or right before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my favorite line is the nurse going, this almost never happens. I like the qualifiers in there.
Almost never. But we know it does because they named a syndrome after
Right.
it.
She's like, the Lazarus thing happens every now and then, but usually once I pull the plug and smother them with a pillow to make sure they're not going to come back up.
No, too far. All right, my favorite moment is when it's at the very end, it's the tag, and Chandler's going on about, I could get a Brian. If I wanted a Brian, I could get a Brian. Hey, Brian. I just love that.
The guy that plays Brian is standing there like he just heard enough.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
wait,
a little uncomfortable.
What? My favorite moment, I think, is the two girls at the funeral, Andrea and her friend,
Oh, okay.
who clearly made a bet as to if Chandler was gay or not. And when Ross is like, you be gay.
Right.
And she's like, you were right. And they're like, and walk away.
All right. So there wasn't a lot. There was a lot of browns in this episode. As far as favorite outfit, there was a lot of dark colors. I did not like Monica's gray suit, little skirt
with
thing
the brown tights.
No, didn't like it.
It was kind of like, wow, that's a choice.
Yeah, right. Like, I would have put blue, black.
Anything. Yeah. You have so many colors. Why land on brown?
But I do love the dress that Phoebe wears to the funeral. Mm-hmm. I love that skirt. It's very twirly.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, that's a very Joe skirt.
I would totally rock that today. I think it's very cute.
You would look cute in it.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to say Rachel, the first scene back from the intro music, she's got a leotard boring top on, but she's got it's a brown skirt. There's a lot of brown.
Right.
But it's got black flowers on it, and it's, it's like a pencil skirt. I don't know what things are called. But
it's a maxi skirt, but that's okay.
It looks cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
She's cute. Cute.
Cute. Dramatic line reading. Not the first two, but the second two. Woo! I love you guys. You guys are the greatest. I love my sister. I love Phoebes. Hey, Chandler. I love you, man. And listen, man, if you want to be gay, be gay. It doesn't matter to me. Rachel. I love you the most. I just love saying that live. All right, we start with the cold open. Not in
Central Perk. You love it when they switch it up.
I do. Chandler is in his office building in the cafe eating his sad little lunch.
And he's wearing sweater vest number 1.
Woohoo! And then Shelly enters, who's played by...
Nancy Casaro.
Yeah, you really liked her in this episode.
She does some funny stuff in the later scene.
Yeah.
That I really like.
So she asks him how he's doing, and he says, dehydrated Japanese noodle under fluorescent lights. Does it get any better than this? It's
Could it be a sadder lunch?
Right. She goes, are you dating anyone?
I know someone who would be perfection for you.
Oh, what a callback. And then this makes me sad when he replies, because I read Matt's book, but he says if you have someone that's codependent or self-destructive, it would be better.
Oh, does he go for the self-destructive people?
Well, he's pretty self-destructive. So.
Oh, well, let's not get into that.
All right. So then she asks...
If they want to read the book, they can read the book.
Yeah. She asks if he wants a date Saturday.
Yes, please.
He's cute. He's funny.
He's a he?
Oh, no, you're not. Oh, I'm just going to go flush myself down the toilet.
I'm going to start using I'm going to flush myself down the toilet.
Yeah,
when I get embarrassed.
Never heard that.
I'm going to go flush myself down the toilet. That's going to be my thing now. You're going to be sick of it.
I already am. All right. Then we go to Monica's apartment. All 6 friends, and they're eating a murder of Chinese food. That's what Adam put in the notes.
Right. There's a lot of Chinese food on the table.
There is.
I mean, I guess there's 6 of them, so
yeah,
6 adults.
So what I want to know is, what are those flippin' utensils they're using?
Oh, the big...
Yes.
They're super long. I think they're chopsticks with like a spork on the back or a spoon and a fork. So, you can have the option of eating either way.
They're just really big. Yeah. I just use my lightsaber chopsticks. So.
Right. Well, not everybody has lightsaber chopsticks.
Special.
And you don't have a fork on the back of
Nope.
For me.
Can use them. All right. And then Chandler expresses his disbelief at being thought of as gay. Can you believe that?
Well, yeah.
But then you spent Phoebe's birthday talking to my breast. So.
Right.
Which, I'm going to have to pull it out because didn't he make out with her in college?
Oh, I wasn't sure what you were pulling out. Yes, he did but that's future past.
Okay.
That's days of future past. We're not to that past yet.
Okay.
I don't want you to hurt yourself every episode.
I won't.
Over inconsistencies.
And then you pointed out that Phoebe's hair is straight because we love her curly hair. Yeah. But in this episode, it's straight.
Right. She's got straight hair and a weird vest.
Yeah.
With a bunch of different drawings on it.
Yeah, it's white. It's a white vest with I saw an owl.
Doodles. It's like a doodle pad. There's bugs and spaceships and owls and...
The atomic energy symbol.
Right.
That has a fun vest. So then he asked if everyone else thought he was gay, and all the girls say yes, but the guys both say no.
No. I wouldn't hang out with you if I thought you were gay.
Oh, gosh. Again, flashback when Joey moves in, he says, I'm totally okay with the gay thing.
He does say that. Again, you're going to give yourself an aneurysm. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
It's like Back to the Future. You're like trying to figure out that.
Yeah, it's like multiple timelines. It's like Marvel. Okay. You gotta, there's multiverses and there's crossover, and I'm just making a weird excuse. So.
Okay. And then Ross says in college Susan Salador thought he was gay, but he liked her, so he told her that he was dating Bernie Spellman, who also liked her.
Which gets a high five out of Joey.
That's right.
Taking out two competitors. I like it.
And then Chandler asks, what is it about me? Phoebe goes, you're smart and funny.
Ross is smart and funny. Did you ever think that about him?
And then everyone busts out laughing. But I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Ross clearly could be gay. I think Schwimmer is gay, isn't he?
No! Don't start that rumor. Cut that out.
They take it too serious.
Yeah.
Chandler's whole problem is that I think he's not into a lot of manly stuff. A lot of guy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not into some of the manly guy stuff, so people have thought that about me in the past. I don't care. I'm like, oh, sorry. Nope.
Married.
to a woman.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
You can be married to anybody, thankfully.
Now, yes.
For a limited time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's not go down that road. All right. So then Chandler says, what is it? And they say he has a quality. And this was almost my favorite line where he says, I was worried you'd be vague.
Yeah. Well, the sweater vests are not helping.
No. Right. The 3 size too large sweater vest is not helping. And then the phone rings and it's Paolo. He's calling from Rome. And Ross is lamenting that he could do that.
I could do that. We could do that. Yeah. I could call you from Rome.
That's right. All we have to do is go to Rome.
Right. If we were in Rome together, I could call you and you could answer in Rome.
And then Rachel says, Monica, your dad just beeped in. And Monica tells Ross that it's Nana.
It's Nana.
Yep. So they cut to the hospital. Monica and Ross, Jack and Judy are there. And they give everybody hello hugs. And I really like this. Ross steps up on the table to hug his dad.
Right.
Was that a gag or for convenience?
Yeah, it's like a cute little gag. I mean, in reality, he would just walk around the table. But
right.
it makes for a funny little thing for the audience. And, it's fun.
And then Aunt Lillian walks in, and she's played by...
Eleanor Donahue. Okay. I looked her up because she looked familiar to me.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know where my brain pulled this one from, but she was Andy Griffith's love interest on the Andy Griffith show.
You're kidding. That's crazy.
I guess she was also like one of the kids on Father Knows Best.
Oh my gosh. That is like really reaching.
Right. I never saw that one, but I was like, oh, she's that lady. Okay.
And then she says the doctor says Nana has hours. And Monica says, how are you, Mom? And she goes, what's with your hair? What's different?
Nothing.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Relax. We still have boyfriends in your career to go over.
That's right. That's right. So my mom doesn't criticize me to my face.
Right.
But she totally cuts people up on the phone. So usually after
afterwards.
we've hung out together.
Right. Be it hospital or Christmas party or whatever.
I get the inevitable phone call where she just cuts people to shreds. And I always say to her, if you say this about these people, what do you say about me to them?
I'm not telling you that.
Yeah. And I can talk about this because my mom will never know. She doesn't even know what podcasts are, so.
No.
All right, we're still at the hospital. Again, Monica, Ross, Jack, and Judy. And you pointed out that Ross and his dad are sitting the same way. I thought that was so cute.
It's a cute little moment.
And then I noticed that Monica is actually sitting on the table. She, so it's Judy, and then there's a small little corner table, and then Ross and Jack, and she's sitting on that table. I thought that was cute.
Right, because the other chair wouldn't have been cheated to the audience.
That's right.
So she's
got to be in the frame.
Right.
And they talk about the little fuzzy mints at the bottom of Nana's purse.
Which are gross.
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 And her sweet and lows, how she stole them from restaurants. And
also our house.
I thought
that's a weird detail. Was she a little bit of a klepto? Or?
I think it's an old person thing. So all my grandparents were dead before I was, 5 or 6. So we always, growing up, had pseudo-grandparents, like grandmas mostly.
Right.
And one of them passed away, and so we were helping clean out her house. And she literally had an entire kitchen drawer packed to the brim with Sweet and Lows.
Wow.
I don't know if it was a hot commodity, if they gambled with them.
It's probably like a Depression era thing.
Yeah,
we got to hoard the...
You don't throw stuff away. But the other thing that they found in in this person's house was a drawer full of endless bread bags. Like every bread bag they had ever used in their entire life.
Like Wonder Bread?
Yeah. Just stacked stuffed inside each other. Just every closet door you open, bread bags would fall out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I guess they didn't buy plastic wrap or sandwich bags. If you wanted leftovers, you got to shake it home in a bread bag. Here's some mashed potatoes in a bread bag.
That would be a fun throwing device for mashed potatoes.
Launching device.
Yeah, you could really whip them in a bread bag.
Oh, no. And then the nurse comes out and says, Mrs. Geller.
Nana's passed.
Yep.
So Nana, I was on IMDb looking up other people, and Nana is credited as Alice Drummond.
Okay.
Who passed away in 2016, but she was the woman who was the librarian in the beginning of Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, that's
Now,
cool.
I didn't recognize her laying there.
Right.
But...
And then Ross comments about how small she looks, but at least she's with Pop and Phyllis now. And Aunt Phyllis now, sorry.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed while they were in the room is those sheets are pink. Like... hot pink sheets.
They are very pink.
For a hospital.
Maybe they're sheets from home.
Maybe. So Monica leans down and gives her a goodbye kiss. Yeah. And then Ross leans down and gives her a kiss. And they both run out of the room.
What cracks me up is it happened so fast.
Yeah.
At first, I thought Ross screamed.
Yeah, I remember you making me watch it again and again.
It says, Ross making that? Because he screams high-pitched at other times.
Yeah.
Danger!
So Monica goes and gets the nurse and takes her back in the room, and Ross comes out and says, remember how the nurse said that Nana had passed? Well, she hasn't quite. She's present. And then Aunt Lillian comes around the corner and she goes, she may have died? We're looking into it.
We're looking into it. And my favorite line is then right after the nurse in the room going, this almost never happens. Right. I mean, I love it when somebody just has one line.
And just delivers it with,
Yeah. So her name was Marilyn
Tokuda. Okay.
I think that we'll agree on that pronunciation, even if she doesn't.
Right.
So Friends always has really good side characters who can deliver lines great.
Right.
Like there's a lot of ones that like stick out, like kidney stones.
Yes. That is the most amazing line. I love it. What is it? Kidney stones.
Kidney stones. I mean, that's just that guy's just perfect.
Yeah, it's amazing. So the nurse must have turned the machine on. They must have turned it off before everybody went in to say goodbye. But then when she woke back up,
flipped everything back on.
Yeah. Because
we can hear it go beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, so you hear the flat line.
And before, it was quiet in the room.
Right. So now she's passed. So then we cut to Central Perk. Rachel, Phoebe, Chandler, and Joey. Chandler is still obsessing, and I know this bothers you, but he keeps going, and he goes, "Is it my hair?"
Yes, you have homosexual hair. Phoebe sounds like me. Like,
yeah.
Okay, you're getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous.
Right, stop talking about it.
Don't make this the plot line. If we end it right now, it can still be funny.
And then Monica and Ross enter. I kind of want them to go, "Hi."
Hi.
And then Rachel says, "Did she?" And they go, "Twice."
Oh, that
sucks.
Ooh. I think it's funny they don't have any follow-up questions.
Yeah, no.
They just go twice.
What?
Twice?
Right. And then you pointed out that Joey has this bright orange sweater.
Yeah. It looks like a fisherman sweater,
right.
like a blue fish, like you would see a guy getting off a boat in a blue fisherman sweater
right.
cut like this sweater, except his is bright orange. So it looks a little weird. It's like he looks like the fisherman character on Pushing Daisies or something.
I love
like
that
he'd
show.
have a hat on and a robe, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's the fisherman guy who's suspected of killing that guy."
And then Ross goes, "It's weird. I know she's gone, but..."
Well, maybe she's not really gone.
No, she's gone. We checked.
A lot.
And then Phoebe goes on to say, "Ever since my mom died, I get the sense that she's right here." And she like puts her hand right where
right
Chandler's
Chandler's face. And you kind of,
moves away. And Debbie, her best friend from junior high, got struck by lightning on a mini golf course. She always gets a Debbie vibe when using those little pencils.
These are just associations, Phoebe. This is what happens when you see something that reminds you of somebody else or their death. I hear songs all the time, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the song is making me think about this other person I knew 20 years ago."
It's not the universe doing that. It's just a
coincidence. No, I put the song on. I mean...
So then Rachel says, "Here, you can have my pencil. I just sharpened her this morning." And I want to point out, what the fuck is Rachel wearing? Okay, she's got this jean halter top on. It looks like a pair of jeans, and they cut the band off and wrapped it around her neck.
It's a weird shirt.
Weird. It's so weird. Sorry. All right, I digress. And then Joey goes on his little tangent.
Yeah, when you're dead, you're dead. You're worm food. Which is what I would want to say to Phoebe, but you don't want to say that when Nana just died.
Right. So I always think of this part as like when she said, "Oh, based on this play."
Right. He creates the awkward moment.
Right.
Everybody's kind of like, "This is not the time for that."
And then he points out, "So Chandler looks gay, huh?"
Yeah.
And I do like the line where she goes, "I don't know who this is, but this isn't Debbie."
That's because it's a waitress pencil, not a mini golf pencil. Come on, Phoebe. This isn't your first day.
Be a cut above. All right. And then we go to Nana's apartment. So Ross, Judy, and Aunt Lillian are there to pick out an outfit for Nana to wear.
In the closed casket.
But they insist that she still look nice.
Right. We just saw a stand-up special, but I think it was Jim Gaffigan. I believe that's who I'm attributing it to. Was talking about being buried in clothes. And he was like, "Just put me in my PJs."
That's a good impression of Jim Gaffigan. Yeah, when I'm dead, don't put me in a bra, okay? Don't put a bra on
no
me.
bra.
No,
you're getting cremated.
That's right. I just want to be naked. Just send me through naked.
Cremated naked. Yep. Okay.
And then they open up the closet door and like, what the hell?
They got the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe all shoved in there.
It's like... First of all, how did it get in there? And how the fuck are they going to get it out? Because they can't even move it. It's so weird.
Now, I've seen closets before where people do this weird thing where they put it in there and then they pull it up for some reason and then backfill it. They throw shit over top of it.
Oh my gosh.
And then, it's a pain in the ass to get out. In this case, either that's what happened or the stage guys either put the wall behind the thing after they... Not sure which applies here.
Right. We're not sure if Nana's stagehand did that.
Right.
All right. And then they ask Ross, "Sweetie, can you get in there?"
Shouldn't be a problem. I like it. He looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
Like, Mom and Auntie are asking me to do something. I can crawl over that dresser. No problem.
And so he goes up and over and then shouts, "Hey, here's my retainer." So funny. And then we cut to Monica's apartment. So apparently there was a cut scene where Jack and Monica, they split off. So Jack and Monica went to pick out the coffin.
Oh, fun.
And,
I'm glad they cut that scene.
Yeah, right? And Ross and his mom and Aunt Lillian went to pick out funeral clothes. So they split up the duties of, what the funeral is. So. But Jack does this very funny bit where he goes, when my time comes,
Dad,
I want to be buried at sea.
These old guys and their little, like, it reminds me of Royal Tannenbaum.
Right.
I want the headstone that says I was on a battleship and saved a bunch of people.
And he says, it looks like fun. You'll make a day of it. Because everyone thinks Jack Geller is so predictable.
Right.
But buried at sea, I'd like that. I think people say, quite a bit about me.
Well, they say it. I'm sure people say it about me.
Yeah.
Now we're broadcasting it. So we're broadcasting it over the airwaves so more people can be like,
They're kind of weird.
And they call themselves Maladjusted and Misfits.
So then we cut because, the whole episode is preparing for Nana's funeral and then intercut with Chandler at work. So
right.
We cut back to Chandler's office. And Shelley is sitting there.
Right.
And there's an awkward moment, but then he finally
says...
He's
like, hi, gorgeous, which is what she said to him before.
Right. And again, she's really good, and I like her outfits are pretty eclectic, so she's fun.
Some weirdo outfits, but...
And then he tells her, sorry, I guess others have made the same mistake.
Right. And then I really like her. Woo! Like, she does a great job of going, oh, I see. It's your problem. You're putting this out.
Right.
I made the same mistake as everybody else. Oh, good. It's not me, it's you.
And then, I know he's not wearing a sweater vest, but that tie, oh my gosh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge and kind of burnt orange and has a big flower. It's just really big.
I'm not sure it equates to the huge pockets he has on later.
Oh, yeah. Those are big. And then he asked Shelley what it is about him. And she also
quality.
says... Yeah, right. Okay. And she goes, it's too bad because you and Lowell would have been a great couple.
Lowell? Financial Services. Lowell.
And she looks at him and he goes, well, he's no Brian in payroll.
And Shelley looks as confused as I do.
Right.
Like,
if you're not gay,
why are we having this conversation?
Right. And she says Brian is out of his league.
Right. I like how she said, he's a little out of your league.
And he goes, excuse me? You don't think I could get a Brian?
And he says, believe you me, I could get a Brian. Believe you me is one of those sayings that when I hear it, I'm always confused.
Right.
I know what the person means, but my brain always stops and goes, believe you me. Believe you me.
I saw your note about being confused, so I looked it up.
Oh.
But the phrase, I mean, obviously it means believe me, but it's not grammatically correct the way it's said because it's translated from UK or Irish. It's an Irish saying.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Believe you me.
The saying is take it from me.
Right.
So the translation comes out, believe you.
Right. You always get what people are saying, but from the context. So it's just one of those weird grammatical things that you just... There's another one I can't think of right now. But...
All right, then we cut back to Nana's apartment. And I think they've gone through every dress in her closet because he's dangling the last dress and says, this one? But all I can see is the National Geographic.
Yeah.
Which was so funny because when I was looking for trivia, it pointed that out.
Somebody was like, hey, there's National Geographic.
Yeah, because you can recognize them from the yellow spine. No shit, Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I didn't even need to read that. I knew they were National Geographic.
Right, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, old person, National Geographics in the closet.
My dad's going to have This Boy's Life, which is a Boy Scout magazine, and Reader's Digest. We're going to have a ton of those when he dies. So.
Well, we're not.
Yeah.
Goodwill will.
And then he says, this is all we have unless you want your mother to be buried in a lemon yellow pantsuit. Go with the burgundy.
What's wrong with the lemon yellow pantsuit?
I know. I think that would be
She
fun.
bought it.
Festive. I would totally wear it.
We don't even know what it looks like.
No. You do get a glimpse of it when he's in the closet.
Oh, yeah?
It's on top of the dresser. It's like sitting there.
Oh,
so
okay.
you do see it. And then they say, whatever we pick, she would have said it was the wrong
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So people, pick out your own buried clothes. Pick out your own dead people. Once you hit like 45, staple a Post-it on your favorite suit or dress or whatever and be like, bury me in this. Just because it's a pain.
Oh, yeah.
We had to go through it when my mother died. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. Just make your own.
Yep. It was not fun. So they decide to go with the burgundy, and Ross tries to climb out of the closet, but then they stop him and say, wait, we need shoes.
Shoes.
So, one, you're putting shoes on a dead person's feet, and they won't even see it because the casket will be closed. But even if it was open, you wouldn't see their feet.
Do they even put shoes on a dead body?
No, they don't put shoes on dead bodies.
That seems like a weird...
I mean, again, I took the clothes to the funeral home for your mom because nobody else wanted to. And they did not ask for shoes. So then he's showing him shoes, and he says, how about this? And they say, well, that's really a day shoe. We need something.
And everybody else will be dressier?
Yeah. What the fuck is a day shoe? I mean, I wear my tennis shoes from morning till night. Am I in violation or something?
Well, these are, old people rules from 30 years ago.
Right.
We have new old people rules now.
Old people
We're
rules.
making our own old people rules.
Right.
And we don't give a fuck about day shoes. And we want to be cremated naked, apparently.
Right. I do, at least. And then they ask if they can see something in a slimmer heel. And then he says, I have nothing in an evening shoe in the burgundy. I could show you something in silver that may work. And then they go, it has to be burgundy unless we pick a different outfit. And that's when Ross goes, wait, I might have something in the back.
Right. So for younger listeners of the podcast and people who think, oh, this is funny, but I don't get it. This is based on how when you used to go to a shoe store.
Right.
This whole bit is based on a shoe store. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, there would be a guy who thought he was too good for fast food that would sell you shoes, and you would pick one out, and then he would put your foot in that little plate. He would do it all for you.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, let me go in the back. And then he'd be gone for like a half an hour.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then he'd come back and he'd be like, we didn't have any of those in your size. But can I interest you in this other shoe that you did not pick out that we have your size of? And if we still sold shoes like this, I would never buy shoes. I would just go barefoot.
I would not let you go barefoot. But, yeah, it took so long. I'm sure there's still some places that would do this. Maybe fancy shoe places.
When they do that, I don't go in those places.
Right. So then Ross checks a box, brings down a shoebox from above his head, and it's full of Sweet and Low.
Yeah.
And he gets sentimental. It's
Right.
Nana stuff.
Sentimental.
And then he picks up a big handful and smells it.
Right.
So, like, when we were downstairs, I, like, picked up a handful of Sweet and Low, and it doesn't really smell like anything.
It smells like pink paper.
Yeah. But you pointed out it maybe smelled like
Right.
his.
It probably smelled like her hand cream. Like the old ladies. I remember my great-grandmother's, the smell of her hands was always that lotion.
Oh, that's fun. Old people lotion?
Yeah, maybe it's old people lotion.
Yeah. Well, if I ever smell like that, let me know.
Okay. Well, 5 years ago.
Oh, no.
I'm going to get in trouble for that
All
one
right.
later.
So then the
just
scene...
a joke for the audience.
The scene ends with an endless supply of Sweet and Lows falling from the
Right.
closet ceiling.
And
So
it
there
just
must have
looks
been
like-
shelves up there.
Right. Must have been shelves. All I can imagine is a stagehand laying up there sprinkling down Sweet and Lows.
Right. And he got bet $5 if he could get one in his mouth.
Right. Some grip was like, I'll give $5 to get one in his mouth.
Then we come back to Monica's apartments the next day because Monica and Rachel are there.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross comes in and Monica says, Mom called to remind me not to wear my hair up. Did you know my ears were not my best feature?
Some days it's all I can think about.
I love that line.
That's my runner-up.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then Phoebe enters and says, sorry I'm late. I couldn't find my bearings.
You mean your earrings?
What did I say? And then they just drop it.
Because there's no time. There's too much to do in the episode. Move on.
And then Rachel shows off her shoes that Paolo sent from Italy.
Right. And Joe, you would hate it if somebody sent you shoes from Italy, wouldn't you?
No, I would not. When we went to Paris, I walked up and down, and I'm not even going to say the name because I always say it wrong.
Right. The Rue de Bleu.
The Champs-Élysées.
It's the street by the Arc de Triomphe.
Yes, there. I can say Arc de Triomphe. But it has all the fancy shoe stores, and so I stood outside and took lots of pictures. But I did not go in.
Yeah, she got stage fright. I was like, go in. She was like, no.
And then in the notes, he wrote the chicken, the duck enter.
I got to keep it fun for myself.
It's true. You're watching the episode taking notes. So.
Right. And they get it. The Friends listeners get
They will get it, yeah.
Chicken the duck.
And then Chandler says, "My, don't we look all nice dressed up?"
And then they all stare at him.
And he goes, "It's stuff like this, isn't it?"
Yes. That and the sweater vests. That scarf's not helping you out.
Oh my God, the scarf with the tassels and the slicked back hair. He's got this whole
Tim Kono vibe going on.
Only murders in the building. Then we cut to the cemetery. So you put backlot cemetery.
Right.
Monica says it was a beautiful service. Mm-hmm. It really was.
Again, they're trying to squeeze too much into
they can't
priest,
have
rabbi,
Yeah.
inside church, funny eulogy. No.
Right.
You're outside. It's done.
It's over. And then she tells her, "You might want to start using night cream." And we totally talked about this. If it was anyone else, it's kind of like Monica's OCD. If it was anyone else but Christina Pickles.
Right. It's like Monica being played by Courtney Cox. Mm-hmm. Because it's Courtney Cox, she knows how to make it funny.
Right.
Christina Pickles, this episode is a little rough.
Yeah, she is very
direct. By the end of this episode, you're like, okay, hopefully next time you're on, you have something else to do.
Then pick on poor Monica.
Because your mom died and you're just not letting up on your daughter.
And then Joey gets bummed about news from his overcoat.
Yes.
Because Chandler says, "Your overcoat sounds like Brett Musburger."
Yes.
I didn't know who that was. I looked him up, but that's all I did was, he's a sportscaster. And it's a giant Cowboys game. And I think this is a cliche, and we talked about it. It's always the gag that guys are obsessed with sports and girls are obsessed with shopping.
Right. It's like, it's the American man. I'm going to do anything to distract myself from the death looming at the door.
Which later doesn't go with Joey's character, because he's super sweet. And he, when Phoebe's grandmother dies, he brings her flowers, and it's like, so they're still trying to figure him out.
Well, they're trying to figure him out, but also he's 25.
Yeah, it's true.
I think when you're 25 and
it's
somebody's
you
go to a friend's funeral because you're supporting them, but you really don't care about the person that died. But I think Joey grows into his sweetness, and he's not as close with them yet.
Mm-hmm. So you pointed out I'm having trouble with his name. Joey's giant tiny TV. I had one of those.
You had one?
Yes, my mom and dad were super excited. It was this super cool novelty to have.
It just seems silly with new technology.
It's so tiny. The screen is as big as a 50-cent piece.
Right.
And the batteries wore out super fast.
It's this huge thing with this postage stamp screen.
Yeah.
It looks like a walkie-talkie from Nam.
And it had an antenna.
Yeah.
So you had to get a signal. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah. Just everybody's playing on their phones now during their funerals, I'm sure.
So then Rachel steps in mud in her Palo shoes.
I feel like Rachel Green would call him by the brand name, not by the who gave them to her.
Right.
I mean, it's so, they want Ross to be rude about it. But I feel like Rachel would be like, "Oh no, my Guckies."
It looks like Gucky, but it's Gucci.
Doing a lot of references in this episode.
That's right. And then Phoebe says, "What a great day." And they all look at her. And she's like, "Weather-wise."
Weather-wise. It's beautiful out. I mean, come on.
And then Ross goes on this little, life and blah, blah, blah. And then he falls into a grave. It's so awkward.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like they went, well, they're walking through a cemetery. Let's have Ross fall in an open grave.
Right.
He doesn't feel bad enough with his grandmother died. We got to make him feel like shit.
So how come there's mud where Rachel steps in it, but the grave is completely clean
Right.
and nice?
Well, the mud looked like a PA had to dump a bucket of mud on the ground for her to step in.
And then, is it Nana's grave?
Oh, yeah.
So fresh.
The gravedigger stopped halfway through. And
Right.
Let's take a break. And Ross fell in. It's not very deep either, it doesn't look like.
And he's fine. He's just having his worst fear realized.
Yes.
Then we cut to the Geller residence. All 6 friends plus all the funeral guests. Ross and Phoebe are on the floor.
Because he hurt himself falling in the grave.
Right. So she's checking his back to see if it's in spasm. And then she laughs and says, "You missed a belt loop."
Like, huh? What? You missed a belt loop.
And then she goes, "Yeah, it's in spasm." Because he goes, "Ow, ow, ow." And then Judy brings down pills from her golfing accident and covers Monica's ears before she walks away.
Right.
Like a little dig. But what did Judy do? Like, how could you injure yourself in a golf accident?
Well,
Like, what?
doing this golf swing, I mean, I'm old enough, I hurt my back when I sneeze. You know?
Then we're still at the Geller's house. We cut to later, and Andrea introduces herself to Chandler as Dorothy's daughter. And I love this because he says, "I don't know who Dorothy is." I feel like that all the time in events. We just went to a celebration of life for somebody that passed in our family, and my mom was like, "You remember her? That's your cousin's ex-wife." And I'm like, why would I remember her? When they divorced, I was 9 years old.
But you remember? No.
No.
It was at a funeral. I was uncomfortable.
But you pointed out that Chandler is wearing a vest.
Right.
So we had a little discussion.
So Chandler has a vest on underneath his suit jacket. So I had Joe look at it so she could make a ruling because I couldn't tell if it was a sweater vest or suit vest.
Yep.
So
my ruling is suit vest.
Suit vest.
Yeah, because his sweater vests are so big and baggy, and this one is like very tight, and it just looks like a 3-piece suit.
So the official stance is it's a suit vest, therefore it's not eligible for the sweater vest tracker.
That's right. It's not. And then Ross comes downstairs. This is my favorite. "I feel great." And he is clearly feeling really good.
Right.
And then not the first 2, but the second 2.
Right.
Woo! And I love my sister. I love Phoebes.
And he flips Phoebe's hair. Like before he's even on to her,
Right?
He flips it really awkward.
That's
And
funny.
she's kind of like, ugh.
And then when he hugs her, he smashes whatever she's eating into her face.
Right.
Because when he moves on to Chandler in the background, you can see Monica helping her wipe her face off. And Chandler, I love you, man.
That's a little bit of good physical comedy
Yeah,
for
that was
Schwim.
good. Yep.
For Schwimmer, we got to give him props.
If you want to be gay, you be gay. And then Andrea goes, "I told you so."
Right. So and the other girl's just like, see?
And then he sits down on the couch, and this was almost my favorite line. "Rachel, I love you the most." I just love the way he says it.
The most.
And she goes, "You know who I love the most? You."
No!
I don't get it. And then he flops down on top of her.
And promptly passes out.
Yep. And I think Schwimmer had a good day that day. Like, how long do you think he had to stay flopped over? Because later on, I cut back, and he's still laying there.
Right. He's like, this job has good days and bad days. You know, one day I have to fall into an open grave. But the next day I get to lay across Aniston for a good part of the afternoon.
Right. Then Joey yells sadly at the TV, the women often do. And Jack asks what he has. And I do like Joey's line because he goes, "A hearing disability."
I have a hearing disability.
And then something about the scores and how much time is left. And Jack says,
Blah, blah,
"Beautiful."
blah, blah.
Cut to later. We're still at the Geller's house.
All the guys are gathered around.
Yep. I couldn't tell if Chandler was over there. I tried to look, but I didn't see him.
Guys, when you're huddled like that watching sports, don't look at all.
Right.
I can just tell you. You look completely straight.
And then Ross, again, is still splayed out on Rachel on the ugliest couch in history.
Oh, yes. It's terrifying. I don't know why Judy is picking on Monica at all when she's got this couch in her living room.
Monica should just say, "Hey, before you finish picking on me, you got to get rid of that shit."
Have you looked around at your decorating?
And then Rachel goes, Phoebes, can you hand me a cracker? Because Ross is still passed out.
Right.
And then Judy comes over and sits down with Monica and talks about how her grandmother would have hated this.
It being her funeral and all.
But she says what? She would have been like, why didn't you get the honey glazed ham?
Right.
And how come you didn't get more flowers? And then she would have said, there's too many flowers. Why'd you waste the money? I'm dead.
Right.
And then she says, do you know what it's like to grow up with someone that will criticize every single thing you say? I can imagine.
Let me think.
Then she said, it's a wonder your mother turned out to be the wonderful, life-affirming person she is. That is a wonder.
Right.
And then Monica asked if she had a do-over. Would you tell her how annoying she was?
No. I think it's nicer if people just get along. This is a mantra for bullies, by the way. If you have somebody in your life going, don't tell me the truth, it's nicer if we all get along.
Right.
It's because they're torturing you and they're aware of it.
Right. Those are the people that can dish it out, but they can't fucking take it.
Right.
And you said that you thought Judy had a clue about what she was saying to Monica because of the way she said
right.
no.
You were like, do you think she even knows? And I'm like, the way she says no, I think she's had the same conversation 10 times around the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got to Monica and said it and went, oh shit. This is the one person who's going to be like, you're not that way. You do criticize me.
Right. But she does say that the earrings look lovely on Monica because she's about to fix her hair.
Monica gives her a look because she's just having asked, do you think you should have told her and come clean? And she's like, no. And they kind of have this silent moment where they're like, okay, we're going to continue the charade, keep doing the things the way we have been doing. And then she reaches out to cover her ears again. And Monica's like, look, we can keep the charade up, but if you touch my hair again, I'm going to cut off your fucking hand.
So she says, those earrings look lovely on you. And she says, they're yours.
Actually, they were Nana's.
Aw, sweet.
Sentimental number 2.
Right. But, I mean, who pays attention to ears? I mean, her ears are perfectly fine. They're super cute.
Courtney Cox's ears are beautiful. I have pictures of just her ears on my phone right now.
No, stop.
Okay, that's a lie. I'm just trying to make her feel better about her ears. I'm worried about her.
30 years ago. Then the guys all scream like kids. And
now I'm depressed.
Yeah, Jack's all sad. Even more than he was. And apparently it was a real game and the Giants lost.
Oh.
Like, you don't care, though.
Damn.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Central Perk. Mm-hmm. It's all 6 of the friends. They're sitting on the sofa, Chandler standing behind them, and they're all looking at old photos.
Right, as you do in a coffee house.
Oh, right.
We always take our old box of pictures to the Starbucks and lay them out on the table.
And then Joey goes, who's this little naked guy?
That would be me. Yep. Yes, that's my penis.
And then they find a framed photo, and somebody says, who are these people? Monica goes, that's Nana right there.
On the back, it says Little Nana Geller.
Little Nana Geller. And it's the gang at Java Joe.
Monica, you look just like your grandmother.
Yeah. And that looks like a fun gang.
And then they pull out and they look like a fun young gang.
Yeah, they pause for like abnormal amount of time.
Right. They pause so long you're like, okay, TV show, I understand what you're doing.
They're waiting for Joey to catch on.
They're letting you get your camera out so you can take a picture of the screen. Because that's what you had to do in 1994.
And then Joey goes, look, I got Monica naked.
No, that's me again. I'm trying something.
What?
What are you trying, Ross? Are you auditioning for Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs? Why does this picture exist?
Yeah.
Again, this isn't cell phones. This isn't, oh, he's being silly and I'm just clicking. This is, I have to have film in the camera and a flash.
I have to get it developed.
I have to get it developed. Rock, do that one more time.
Hold that pose.
Sing your song.
And then we cut to the tag, Chandler's office. So we just go back and forth from funeral stuff to the office. And Lowell enters.
And he's rocking a sweater vest.
Oh, yeah. Lowell is played by Stuart Franklin. Fratkin, sorry. And he has the hugest shoulder pads in that jacket I've ever seen in my life. It's like they couldn't send him out there just in the sweater vest. They were like, put a jacket on him. This is the only one we have. It was so huge.
It's not as big as the pockets on Chandler's shirt.
You did say, yeah.
He's got an orange shirt, and the pockets start under his collarbone and go all the way down to his waist. They're like pocketbooks on the front of his shirt.
Pocketbooks. Hashtag huge pockets.
Hashtag huge pockets.
I don't know what Shelly said, but I'm not.
Well, that's what I told her.
You can tell?
We have kind of a gaydar.
I don't have a quality.
Speaking for my people, no. Now, Lowell is giving a little bit of an attitude.
Right.
So this is when I started to really think about the whole storyline and Chandler rebelling against it. So I was like, why is Lowell being mad? Because he seems like he's given attitude. As I'm over-reasoning this, I'm like, he knows about Brian.
Right.
So maybe Lowell was kind of asking Shelly to ask Chandler out.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. I'm not 100%.
Right.
I'm like 95%. He wears a lot of sweater vests. And then she was like, well, he's not gay. And he mentioned Brian.
Right.
Who's clearly out of his league. And he was like, definitely out of his league.
Right.
I mean, maybe he got his feelings hurt.
Right.
And then you threw Brian on top of it. So he's a little bitter.
Yep.
But then I was like, wait a minute. No. That's not why the storyline bothers me, though. So then I think I'm upset that instead of having a storyline around an actual gay person having actual problems with society, we're coddling the straight white man who's upset that he's perceived as being gay.
Poor guy.
Which is why he should have just stopped when Phoebe was like, yes, you have homosexual hair.
But then you were distracted.
But then I got suddenly distracted. So I'm thinking of all this. I even paused the show.
Yeah, because you're mad.
Because I'm mad about the whole... I'm like, this thing is bothering me. I don't know why. I just figured it out. And then I'm staring at Lowell, and he's got Provasic written on his cup.
Provasic.
Which is the drug from the movie The Fugitive.
Oh my God.
That came out the year before.
Only you would know shit like that.
Provasic. No, it's the... I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I want one of those bugs. That would be
you're
awesome.
fine again, right?
So then I'm fine because I'm a straight white male, so I don't care about things very long. I can get distracted with promotional materials from good movies.
And then Lowell does say Brian is out of his league.
Yes.
For sure. And
absolutely.
Then my favorite moment is when I could get a Brian. If I wanted a Brian, I could get a Brian. Hey, Brian.
And Brian looks a little scared.
Yeah, he does look like he heard a little, just enough to make him a little nervous. And that is the end of the episode.
Episode ends there. I was just thinking, when my time comes...
Dad!
Listen to me. When my time comes, I want to be buried at sea.
You what?
I want to be buried at sea. It looks like fun.
Define fun.
Come on. You'll make a day of it. You'll get a boat, pack a lunch.
And then we throw your body in the water. Gee, that does sound like fun.
Everyone thinks they know me. Everyone says, Jack Geller. So predictable. Maybe after I'm gone, they'll say, buried at sea. Huh.
Yep, that's probably what they'll say.
I'd like that.
So, what did we learn from this episode? I learned that I never thought Chandler was gay, but I also don't want to talk about it anymore because it kept coming up over and over and over. Ross even puts it on his reunion page and later episodes. It's just really, bothers me. I like that Ross professes his love to Rachel and she still thinks he's joking. He gets so mad. I learned that moms pick on daughters and love their sons. And I did not like Joey's. I didn't like Joey in this one.
Yeah.
Like, I like Joey. I just didn't like the stuff they had to
Joey
do.
is average guy in this episode.
Yeah. And he's not an average guy, so.
I learned that Chandler's not gay.
Yep.
Please stop saying it. Stop implying it. Definitely not gay.
Yep.
Americans will focus on almost anything to not confront death. Mm-hmm. And this big spoiler, nobody seems to care that Nana died.
Yeah.
They have a couple little sentimental moments, but nobody looks like they've cried.
Yeah.
Nobody seems upset.
Right.
I mean, I like Friends that they kind of stake their claim on we're going to do the dicey scenes, but make them funny.
Right.
This is why I think they squeezed too much into this episode. Because I just don't feel like anybody cared.
I mean, your grandmother's 94, and when she dies, I'll be a wreck.
Not just you.
Themes explored in this episode.
I think they wanted to explore death. I think where they landed was more on chores involved when somebody dies.
Picking out clothes, coffins, and
everything seems like they're going through the motions.
Right.
Of, you're going to the funeral, you're going to the after funeral. It's like they're doing all the steps, but nobody's really processing anything. So it seems a little weird. The other theme is, unfortunately, being perceived as gay.
Yeah. I know, we've bashed it to death, so we won't do it anymore.
Right.
All right, final episode thoughts.
Well, we have a death that affects no one.
Yep.
Ross, it's his grandmother.
Sure.
I think, him and Monica, but specifically him in regards to Rachel, like they always frame everything. He could have taken a little lesson of there's not much time in life. We all have an expiration date.
Right.
You got to grab that spoon while you can.
He tried to. Then he fainted.
Right. The gay thing, I know we've harped on this. It was the 90s. You have to look at it through that frame.
Yeah.
They were trying to do things on TV that were new, that weren't done at that time. Unfortunately, when you're doing that kind of material, sometimes you're going to make the wrong move.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that 30 years later, it's uncomfortable, but...
Yeah. You're bringing us down, Adam.
Oh. I can bring you back up.
Okay.
There were black people at Nana's funeral, so there was diversity in this episode.
All right.
I feel like I didn't do a good job.
No, I don't think so. But,
okay.
I agree. It has funny moments. It's not an overly great episode. They did try and pack in a lot of new things, but still, we're still exploring new themes every week.
Right.
And I still love that.
Yeah.
And they have lesbians, so they do want to be gay friendly.
Right.
They just went about it.
Absolutely want to be gay friendly.
They went about it the wrong way. It didn't quite work.
Yeah. And again, I was wondering if it was maybe a reaction to problems at the time.
Yeah.
Like blowback at the time. Like, is Chandler gay? Is he not gay?
Right.
I don't know if they were trying to quell some...
Yeah, I said quench.
They were trying to quench the thirst of the people as to Chandler's gayness.
All right. So, sweater vest tracker.
Sweater 1 in the cold open.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. Even though he had horrible rest of the time.
We called an audible on the second.
Yep.
And so just 1 for the episode, which brings us to 10.
10. Wow. Double digits.
That's right.
All right. Next week, we watch the one where Underdog gets away.
Underdog gets away. I feel like Monica was prognosticating.
Right. When she was telling the underdog story to Bob. Yes. Oh, we have to check and see if the writers are the same.
I looked today.
Yeah. Okay. Don't tell us. Let's let it be a surprise.
Surprise.
And then you said that the Thanksgiving episodes are some of your favorite ones.
Yes, we'll begin the tradition of Thanksgiving episodes.
They're funny.
Some of which are my favorite.
Yeah.
And Jane Sibbett makes her debut as Carol next week.
I like Jane Sibbett.
Yes.
Yep. Well, that's the end of this episode. Thanks so much for listening. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, email us at the maladjustedmisfits@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Equality? Right. Great.